So we're going to get through this together. It's going to be great. But just know that I sound like I'm sick, but I'm not. I just have been screaming and excited for multiple days. Hey, Jen, so good to see you. Okay, let me get our screen share up and we will get started here in a second. And also, y'all, no pressure to turn on your camera or your mic at all. This is a chill space. I know that there's a lot of us in here, but really, this is a safe space, guys. So whatever you're most comfortable with is totally fine with me. Okay, Jess said, considering purchasing Senja new for user. Amazing. Well, before you do, we have a special discount code for you at the end of today's call that might entice you to come on over. And that'll actually be good for everybody, whether you are currently paying for Senja or not. You can use the discount code. Hold on, guys. Let me let Diesel in the room. Come on. We're not going to bark. I'm in a call. Let's go. We got to have our mascots in the call, guys, right? Diesel and Missy are always here to support collecting testimonials and sharing social proof. We love it. Okay. Hi, everyone. Okay, amazing. All right. So Jen, okay, let me check your question real fast and we'll dive in. I do have a question. I've created a form with multiple questions, but only the primary question is pulled in the testimonials. Is there a way to feature a different question's answer as the main testimonial? That is a really good question because it's a text testimonial. It's not a video. I don't believe so. Well, actually, let me marinate on that a second because and it's a text one. Okay, let me marinate for a minute because I need to pull up actually in somebody's account. Give me 1 second. Let's, yeah, we'll come back to that question. I'll marinate on it. Okay. And I'm just saying that because when somebody leaves you a testimonial, if they've left you multiple, that's multiple entries, but not on one form. No. So what I would recommend for that actually, Jen, is basically pull up the text piece in the Chrome extension and then import it as its own testimonial for that individual. And I can show you guys how to do that in today's call as well. And I'm happy to help with that. Okay, let me make sure that I've let everybody in. Amazing. Okay, great. All right. Well, like I said, as we go through today's call, please drop your questions in the chat and then we'll have an open dialogue at the end. But I want to make sure that I share some really helpful tips on using Senja, especially just looking through the chat that we have a lot of new users. And so I want to make sure that we get you guys what you need. Okay, so are we ready to get started? It's 10:04. I think that's good. I try to get you guys out before the hour. So usually, we're here for about 45 minutes. But of course, if you guys have to pop early and you have questions, you can always email us and we're happy to help anytime. So if we haven't met yet, my name's Sarah. I am the Ops and Partnerships Lead at Senja. You probably have seen me across the internet. I own a consulting agency on the side called Systems, and I've spent more than 13 years in data and business development, events, and partnerships. Senja, we are a proof platform, and so we really are here to help you not only stand out, show the human side and the human relationships and love that your audience is giving you, but also help you sell more through our widgets, through testimonial collection. And we're going to showcase all of that today. And of course, Ollie is the founder of Senja and the brains behind the operation. So why social proof? So, proof really reduces the uncertainty for buyers. When we're thinking about, should I buy this course? Should I buy this product? No hate to copywriters, but at the end of the day, you're not reading the sales page to determine 100% if you are going to buy something. What you're doing is you're reading the proof to see, is what I need from this what somebody else got from it, right? And am I going to get exactly the solution and the help that I need from purchasing this? So from there, also stories create identity. So, when we think about purchasing from somebody, building a relationship with somebody through their content and their paid offers, we want to see ourselves in them. And not necessarily the creator themselves, but people who have had help from that creator. When I see a testimonial from Ali Abdal, I'm thinking, man, I want to be Ali. I want what he got from Justin Moore. And actually, this is from Justin's testimonials, if you guys are familiar with Creator Wizard. And so, then it also fuels participation advocacy. We want people publicly saying our content, our product, our course, our service, etc., actually made a difference. And we want to further help people. So that's why social proof is important. It's not just us screaming into the void and saying, please buy my thing, but it really is, Sarah changed my life. Dan is the expert, the go-to at video studio setup, right? Like that. Obviously, Dan, I'm calling you out. I'm so sorry. But you know what I mean? We want people backing up the hard work and the hours and the sweat and the tears that we've put into the work and our expertise. So at Senja, we believe that there is a 4-step social proof flywheel. The first is going to be collecting those stories, right? Doing the hard work of getting those testimonials. Then we want to organize them so we can easily share them out. 2, then, of course, step 3, share them across our sales pages, our socials, etc. And then, of course, we want to measure and repeat that. So how do we do that? So our bread and butter, truly, I believe, is our forms and how we actually collect testimonials. So our forms are built really hands-on and in a guided way. So there's no questions. There's no, did I remember to do this thing? Did I remember to set up the automation? Our forms are meant to guide you. And how they start is by asking for rewards. We're going to go over that here in a second. But the next cool thing about our forms, and this was actually brought up from Jen in the comments already, but our forms you can set up to not just say like, rate me 10 out of 10, like how great do you think I am, but really actually think about your offer, think about your solutions that you're providing, and ask dedicated questions for each area of that offer. So a great example, right? I'm just going to throw myself out there. I have an accelerator program that I run, and I was kind of on the fence of which platform do I want to be even giving my program on, right? Do I want to be on Circle? Do I want to be on Heartbeat? Do I want to be on Mighty Networks? And so after the beta, in my form in Senja, that was a question I included to get feedback from individuals to say, hey, what did you think about the UI of this program? Was it easy to navigate this platform? And so not only can you collect testimonials, but you can actually get dedicated feedback within every area of your offer. And the cool thing about these forms, guys, is that you can include 2 pieces of this. One, to auto approve testimonials that come in and feedback that comes in to add to your widgets, or you can ask for private feedback. And so it comes to you, but it doesn't get published right away. And so those questions like that of, did you like the UI of my program? Like, I'm not going to publish that publicly, right? That's just for me. And so the idea here is you're not having multiple forms per product or per offer. You really are getting every single thing that you need in one single swoop of a form. And so the other piece of this is that you can also request text and or video testimonial within your forms as well. So I know for the women in the room, I know a lot of us feel pressure to make sure our hair's done and our makeup's done in order to get a video testimonial, but it really doesn't have to be that serious, guys. If you are at least giving the option to get on video or get on text, you're going to see an increase overall in video testimonials because people have the option in front of them. You can actually also toggle that off. So if you just want text or just want video, you can set all of that up per form and per question. Okay, so one thing that I mentioned a few minutes ago is our rewards. So we are the only testimonial tool out there where you can actually give your audience rewards for submitting testimonials. And so what this looks like is you set it up in your form and you say, I want to allow, you can do one global discount just to preface that. You can say, I want to give 10 magic video credits, which is actually what we're giving y'all if you give us a testimonial about office hours. Or you can do this really cool thing called spin the wheel, where you can offer them a variety of discounts or freebies or coupons, and then they spin it and it's like a surprise of what they get, which is really cool. And we actually had, I don't know if y'all know who Gemma Bonham Carter is. She's one of our large affiliates that we work with, and we've done some sponsored content with her. She's a large course creator on Instagram, and she actually did this really cool case study where she was not doing rewards and then literally implemented it, and in 24 hours got 100 testimonials for her business, which is insane when you think about it, because people love a good deal. They love a gift. Okay, and I am seeing questions in the chat, so let me just make sure that they are what they are about. Okay, so Shauna said, can I embed Senja into my native app to collect? Yes, absolutely. So we're going to talk about that here in a second. So glad I saw that. We are going to answer that. So the next thing is that you can import testimonials from currently, oh no, my picture is not loading. Oh no. You can embed, or sorry, not embed, import testimonials from over 18 platforms, including, Google reviews, Yelp, YouTube comments, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, etc. But you can also manually import your testimonials as well. So let's say you have a random screen grab that you have saved on your desktop, or even a video, guys. That's actually the picture that's not loading. I'm so sorry. But you can actually manually import them. The next thing is that, let's say, we get this question a lot, actually. So let's say you have multiple testimonials saved in a Google Drive folder. If you publish all of those pictures or video and you add the link to a Google Sheet, download the Google Sheet as a CSV, and then upload that, you can import all of those testimonials at one time, which is really amazing. Dan said, YouTube comments have been awesome for us. Exactly. So you can also take a YouTube video and you can import the comments from there as well. Well, Shauna, it actually wasn't a video. That's not loading. It's just a picture. Canva's been doing that a lot for me lately. I think Canva just hates me. I'm kind of overusing it at this point. Okay, so let's talk to tagging. Actually, this one's not loading either. Let's do a hard refresh, guys. Listen, it's Monday. We're rocking and rolling. It's fine. Okay, where were we at? Okay, perfect. So let me show you the video here. So the same thing with our videos is that if you have a video testimonial, you can manually import them as well. Just something to keep in mind that we do have an upload limit. And so you might have to, depending on how large it is. So going back to Justin Moore, he's been my client for about 5 years. I'm obsessed with him. Creator Wizard's amazing. They do amazing work. But he always, y'all, always gives me 9-minute minimum testimonial videos. They're just too long to import. And so what I do is I put that into Final Cut or iMovie and just figure out the sections of what he's talking about, cut them in Final Cut, and then upload them. So if you get a really, really long testimonial, just something to think about there. Okay, so how do we then organize our testimonials? We do that with tagging in Senja. So what I would recommend for you guys, especially if you have multiple products, multiple offers, or you want to tag the difference of people who come through. So a great example, as you guys can see here, the tags are circled in purple. So Justin is tagged as a creator, he's tagged as a course creator, and then a well-known creator as well. So you not only have to tag by your product to organize it, but you can tag by the person as well, depending on how you have your sales pages set up. And so now that you've collected your testimonials, what do you do with all of them, right? We want to be sharing them. So our bread and butter, our most popular widget is the Wall of Love. So you can basically build this page and embed it into your website. You can embed it into, let's say, a course module. That was actually something I believe Shauna or Jen asked. Let's see. Shauna asked. And so you can embed them to natively collect the form first and then showcase the sorry, guys, my brain, the actual testimonial submissions as well. So if you guys remember when I mentioned in the forms that you can auto approve or not auto approve testimonials, what you can do if you have them auto approved is that your walls of love and your widgets will automatically update all the time. And so you don't even have to do the work. All you have to do is set up where you want your widgets showcasing. And here's some other ones. These are actually from my sales page. So you can do things like the 5-star rating and how many people have either purchased. You can customize the copy there. So I say downloads, not purchase, because that was a freebie that I have. You can do one-off embeds too with somebody's headshot, their star rating, and their testimonial. You can do sliding widgets. I love this one because you can actually customize it that it pauses on hover, and then also like can pop up and you can read more of the testimonial as well. So you can fully brand them and you can change like the colors of everything so they match your brand. So if we recap, I want to go over our video playbook and how we have been able to collect 500 video clips, video testimonials in just a couple of months using the flywheel that I just mentioned. So how we want to do this is we want to first trigger the request to collect the testimonial within 24 hours after purchase, because traditionally that is when people are most engaged in anything that they buy. After that, you're going to see a significant drop off and engagement overall. And so you can trigger the forms to be auto emailed to everybody as well. And then we want to offer that reward. So for Senja, when you give us a video testimonial, we give you 1 month free of Senja Pro. And then we also want to be using multi-step forms to get lots of clips, lots of testimonials, so we can then use them in various ways, which we're going to go over in a second. And then we want to make sure that we are saying thank you for giving the testimonial. And the way you can do that is in the form, you can set up the email to automatically say thank you. You can also record a video, make it generic, say a general thank you to everybody. So you have to keep recording it and then send that to them after, which is all automated through our forms. And then lastly, which I just mentioned on the recent slide, was that we want to approve the widgets, or we want to approve the testimonials to automatically go to the widgets on our sales pages. And so we keep talking about all of these clips, right? We keep saying like, we want to collect multiple clips, we want to do, but it's like, what do you do with those, right? Like we have all these clips, what do we do with them? Well, the great thing is that we have a new tool. It launched about a month and a half ago called Magic Video. And so what you can do is and we'll do a demo here in a second. You can go into Magic Video, and what it does is you prompt it with AI to say, I want an emotional video. I want to see a before and after. And it reads every single video testimonial in your account and then creates this amazing sizzle reel for you. And you can actually set like how long you want it to be. You can add the music, etc. So now you can share your video testimonials, not just in a wall of love, hoping people see your social proof, but you can actually post these directly to your shorts, your Instagram feed, your website on the homepage. You can send it to LinkedIn, etc. Or even, sharing it, let's say on YouTube, right? That's one thing I do is I have a playlist on my channel of all video testimonials and can share that when I'm pitching a new client to say, hey, like, here's this really great thing without stressing about having to create case studies. But you don't actually even need to create case studies, guys, because we also have a tool for that. So after you collect testimonials, you can go into any testimonial or person that's giving you testimonials rather, and you can use our AI to take all of that and create fully developed case studies, which is really cool. So I'm going to pause the screen share for a second. I'm going to switch over to a new screen and give you guys a little bit of a demo about Senja. But I would love to see your comments in the chat. Jamie said, add Upwork as one of the platforms. Absolutely. So if you go to our, if you go to feature base, which is where we take all of our feature requests, you can definitely add that in there. I'm assuming that's already in there actually. But let's definitely get it in there so that way we can show that off. Okay, so we're gonna go into the studio and let me re-screen share. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's create a magic video. So like I mentioned, you can pick the length of the video. So 30 seconds up to 3 minutes. So just think a YouTube short, right? It fits into the YouTube short format. So let's say we want 30 seconds. Want to click continue, and you can select where you pull those testimonials from. The other thing I have not mentioned yet, if you guys are like, ooh, this is so exciting, is that everyone gets 5 free magic videos per month, which is just incredible. So let's just say a pains video. So it's going to upload the testimonials. It's going to load. It's going to add music, which you can turn off if you're not a lo-fi girly like me. And then we will play the video as well. Let me read the chat as it's going. And it takes about 45 seconds, guys. Okay, I have a product that's mental and emotional help, so people are sensitive about sharing their. Amazing. Okay, great. So Shauna asked a really important question. And in the forms, we actually have a consent page where people can say, yes, you can use my likeness and my testimonial publicly, or no, you can't. And if they select no, it will automatically not approve that testimonial and go into any widgets that you have linked with those tags. So that is there. They also, they don't need to upload their photo. They can just put like their first name. They don't need to put their last name. So you definitely, there's additional ways around that. Okay, great. So literally as I was answering one question, this loaded. So you guys can see that you can switch. So let's say we want an Instagram post or Twitter post, you'll see that it automatically resizes for you. And then we can change the subtitles. We can change the color. We change the music. Let's just turn it off. And then branding. So if you don't want the customer's information, you can turn that off. You can turn off the made with Senja. And then let's go ahead and play it. I'm not sure if you guys can hear this, but you get the idea. Amazing. So now you can download it and you can do what you want. But also the videos save to your account as well. And so you can pull them in. We didn't save that one, which is why it's not here. But if you did save it, it would be here. So then what was the other thing? Oh, we were talking about case studies. So if we go to, let me pause screen sharing. Guys, I need to get that Chrome extension that hides like people's content from here. But let me just zoom in a lot. Okay, great. So this is what we're going to do. It's going to be fine. Okay. So the next thing that I talked about is getting case studies, right? So if you go into your proof, which is the side panel, any testimony you hover over, you just click Magic Maker. And if you click on Turn into Case Study, what it's going to do is it's going to read all of the information, it's going to analyze it, and it's going to build a case study. So for those of you who have service work and client work, I know several of you in here do, this is so great, guys, because listen, I would rather do anything else but write a case study. And now you don't have to, as long as you get the testimonial. And of course you can edit it and, add context where needed. And it's almost done. So again, like a minute, it's very quick. So Jennifer just left us a testimonial for Senja. So it adds a testimonial at the top. It goes through her struggles, finding a solution, and the transformation. And this is downloadable into a PDF, but you could also, highlight the text for now and embed it into your website. Okay, so let me go through the comments. Actually, let me go back to our slideshow. Okay, great. So if we have not, as I'm going to go through the questions, I'm going to just leave this slide up. If you are on the free plan of Senja and you're considering getting Senja, paying for Senja, or you haven't created an account, or you are a free user, you can use office hours to get Senja Starter for $1 a month for 2 months. So to give that a try, because on the free plan of Senja, you only get 15 testimonials and 1 form, but Senja Starter allows 3 forms and unlimited testimonials. So if you have multiple products, I definitely recommend creating 1 form per product instead of just asking generic feedback. Okay, I'm going to start going through the chat. New to Senja, amazing. We love that. Wait, Dan, I didn't know. Did you change your business name? I don't feel like I knew that your business was called Hot Sauce Video, but I love that. Time to ramp up. I agree. Okay. Shauna, can I embed Senja into my native app to collect video testimony? Yeah. So if we go back into our forms here. So let's just say for our office hours form, which you guys will get after this call, let's say I want to put it into my teachable course. I want to have a dedicated module where I'm getting testimonial feedback. You can actually go into the trigger and just do manual and then click the form link or use the embed code, depending on which platform you're in, and then just embed it directly. So you're not even having to email people after they bought your course. Well, you should still, but you can also embed it as well to actually make sure that you get it. And so there are some different ways for you to embed. So like for instance, for me, I'm on Squarespace. And so technically either the link or the embed code would work for me. So it really just depends on the platform. Okay. Oh, and then Shauna also asked, what kind of gifts did Gemma offer? So I believe for her, she did a discount code. It was like 30% off something. And then I think the other one was like a free lead magnet type of deal. But I can double check if you guys are interested. Also, if you guys are interested in becoming an affiliate, once you officially sign on to Senja, we actually have some amazing resources in our affiliate hub. And we have this insane one pager that I developed of just like ideas of rewards to give people. So it's pretty extensive, which is great. Dan said, YouTube comments have been awesome for us. Amazing. Okay. Adding Upwork. Yes, we definitely want to submit that. You can submit that as a feature request. Just said, we are a large company with 5 brands within our umbrella. Each brand has its own set of unique services, anywhere from 8 to 20 per brand. For our use case, can Walls of Love be customized per brand? Yes. So Jess, what I would actually recommend is that you use our projects feature. So you can create on Senja Starter 5 projects and put each brand as its own project. So you basically have one, this is what it looks like basically. So you create a new project, you go into your settings, and then you'd have one project per brand, because then you can add in all of the brand's branding. You can do custom logos, colors, etc. And then you would do your forms, your widgets within that project itself. And then yes, obviously the Walls of Love you would build on its own with the tagging. So that's what I would recommend. That's probably the easiest use case for you, since you are, they are 5 standalone brands. It's not like, you know, a podcast, offer, a service, right, under one umbrella, but really 5 dedicated brands. Okay, Shauna, we already answered the question about sensitive information, and actually let me show you that page. So if we go into our office hours, so what you can do on the form is if we scroll down to the end of the form, and we ask for, where's it at? Consent. Here we go. So it's usually the last page before you get their information, but it says, where can we use your testimonial? So you can use it or you can't use it, basically. So they would toggle that on. And then you can also collect additional consent if you need to, if you want it more granular to know like where it can actually be shared. So website, email, newsletters, etc. Okay. Oh, amazing. Yeah, I know I think I have not seen you in over a year, so definitely need to catch up. Damn. Okay, Jess said, can you do a quick demo on tags and best practices? Absolutely. So when we go to our tags, so we have several tags in Senja, but basically this is what it looks like. So you can group them by product, by business type, where you see these diamonds. Actually, let me zoom in, guys. So do you see where you see like these colored diamonds? These are kind of built into Senja, but you can also have a section where it's just like, I think we call it other. Yeah. Other is just like a drop for everything if something doesn't fit in there. But basically what you do is you just click create new, and then we'll just say other, and then why is it not saying that I've clicked it? There we go. And then you'll name the tag. I definitely recommend, if they're more abstract, definitely add a tag description. But ideally, you know, when you think about your when you think about your tags, name it to the product, to the offer. So for me, my accelerator program is called Workroom. So I would have a tag called Workroom. I have an ops overhaul offer. So I would tag it as ops overhaul versus like hourly consulting. And that's actually what I do. I have a general feedback form that I just give to people who, pick my brain, book me for an hour of time. Maybe I just want general feedback from somebody because we're riffing on something, right? So that's the form I would give, and I would tag it as general. And so I know it's just kind of like a landing form. But of course, like you can get as specific as possible, right? So if you want to also tag people by the type of audience they are. So if they're a creator, if they're a coach, if maybe you want to tag them by location, maybe you have a location-based business. I don't know. I'm just thinking like franchises, right? So I live in Austin, and there's a girl, Nina Barteau, who I think that's how you say her last name. She does like the permanent jewelry, right? And she has, I think at this point, like 8 locations in Austin, in Dallas, in Houston. And so if I was doing her Senja account, I would create tags for Austin domain, right? Because that's that studio. I would maybe do Houston Galleria or Dallas Galleria or whatever. So that way we could track where the testimonials are coming from as well. Because also that gives you guys a good idea too of like, oh, I'm getting all these testimonials for this one service or this one offer, but I have 0 testimonials about this other offer in my business. You can actually see here, do you guys see how it actually tells you like how many testimonials are actually in each of those tags? So for instance, enterprise, we have 0 testimonials for enterprise. We don't really have an enterprise plan, but we also clearly are not tracking users on Senja with testimonials with over 800 employees, which means I have some work to do, right? Same thing with these very low amount of testimonials. So that can also drive your content strategy as well, guys. So hopefully, Jess, that answered your question. Happy to keep riffing on tags. Pamela said, I have the same question as Jen. Of all the testimonials, we have sections to them, and I didn't know that it was going to have one labeled primary and is pulling from one that doesn't make sense. What can I do to rectify that moving forward, and how the heck do I fix all of the ones we've already collected? Yes. Okay. So if we go back, let's just riff on this for a second. So we just updated our forms, and I just want to make sure that I give you guys the right piece of feedback. So that one's the primary. So if we go here, yeah, I think we removed. Yeah, so we did remove that. I'm so sorry, guys. Sorry, I needed to jog my memory for a second. So the first question after the rating is always going to be your primary. So the first thing that I would recommend is if you have a specific question that you want answered that's going to be the primary testimonial that's put into your widgets, just rearrange these questions so you can see, don't use the arrows, but rearrange it in terms of like the actual question on the page and copy and paste it into the next one and move it around. But then I am wondering, I think the easiest way, I wonder, can you let me know actually, Pamela, or actually, or Jess, or no, was it Jess that asked that first question? I believe so. Or sorry, Jen, let me know how many testimonials you're thinking that you need to rework, because I think what the cool solution might be is we export them all into a CSV and then upload them the correct way. So that way you have them, all the testimonials separate, and you can dedicate which one is the primary. But let me follow up with you guys. I think that, let me play this afternoon. I think that might be the easiest solution, but there also might be some back-end wiggle room we can play with. Jamie said, drop the link for affiliate. Yes, let's do it, sister. All right. We are down at the bottom. Okay. Yeah, our affiliate program is great. We do 30% lifetime commission. But I also run challenges every month to like earn additional money. So this month we were trying to hit 100,000 earned in revenue from affiliates, and we did. We hit it a couple of days ago, and so the person who actually was the person that hit it got an additional $500, which is really cool. Okay, so Shauna said, do you offer interactive video like Video Ask? I have not played with Video Ask, if I'm being honest, since it dropped, but similarly, every question in your form would be a standalone video, which I guess technically would kind of be interactive, but maybe I'm thinking that I'm just trying to visualize what Video Ask used to look like, but I'm assuming it's very similar. So let me know if that didn't answer your question. Super helpful. I'm overwhelmed. Oh no, Adria, don't be overwhelmed. I'm happy to help you. I know you said you have to pop, but if you're watching the replay, I'm happy to help. Okay, Jamie said, I help businesses get more reviews on their Google business profile. Looking to add video reviews. Is Pro best option? Can you explain 5 projects versus 5 seats? Yes. So what I would recommend is have people submit their reviews through Senja, and then, well, no, because you can't, I don't think you can add video to Google reviews. Yeah, I would maybe consider trying to bypass Google business reviews and have them go into Senja so you can get video and text, and then try to see about pushing them back over. I think that's probably the best way. But I'm not sure if Google reviews allow video testimonials. So that's the only piece of it, is like you collect them all day long, but if you can't put them on your business profile, maybe you can create a section on your profile where you can manually upload the videos instead, and then just leave the text the way that it is, like the random, the starring that they do. So is Pro the best option? So really the difference here is that with Senja Pro, you have unlimited everything, whereas Senja Starter and Free, you have some limitations, right? So 5 seats are going to be 5 separate people that log into your account, whereas 5 projects are, just think like 5 standalone brands. We have some people who build Senja for their clients. So specifically like people who build courses and build communities, they will then set Senja up and manage that project in their account for their client. And that's additional revenue, right? When we think about retainer and support, that is definitely a way that you can earn additional money in your business, right? Is by managing those projects and charging a retainer. Jen said, I have about 6. Okay, yeah. So that's what I would recommend, is export them out and put them into a CSV, Excel sheet, Google sheet, etc. And then have the main line, have the primary testimonial that you want, have it in its own standalone line, and then add the rest of them and then re-import them. And that's just to do them all at once, guys. That's what I'm saying, all at once. Or you can just use the Chrome extension and import the one primary that you want to be standalone as well. You just have to do it 6 times. Amazing. Oh, there's if-then solutions. Okay, Shauna, great. Yes, so we do not have conditional routing on forms right now. So it's not interactive in the conditional sense. But I think that there's pros and cons to both of that, right? So, we want to make sure that we're getting exactly what we need and not deteriorating people, and also making it universal, getting exactly what you need from every single person that gives you feedback. But I also see the pro of that, right? So definitely worth submitting as a feature request for sure. And, maybe we can launch that in 2026, because we are on a launch freeze, guys. So for those of you who are active on Senja, we just hired a maintenance engineer. Tom started, I believe, a month ago now. And so we're trying to just like get through support tickets and get everything rocking and rolling. And then we're going to start shipping at the end of the year again. Okay, so we've already kind of technically been in Q&A, but of course, if you have any questions, you need any additional help, you can also always email support@Senja. So if you have one-off questions that you're not comfortable asking here in office hours, you can always email us. And then the last thing that I want to mention, and obviously, keep the questions coming, but we always have events at Senja. We do several webinars a month, not just office hours. But tomorrow, actually, Ollie is going to be running a demo on how to stand out in the age of AI using customer stories. It's going to be an incredible workshop. And so, excuse me, if you scan the QR code on the screen, that will take you to our main Luma page, which you can subscribe to and get updates every time we post an upcoming event. But also you'll see tomorrow's demo as the next event that you can RSVP to. And all of these recordings we then post to our YouTube channel. So you can always go back, rewatch anything. If you end up missing something that you RSVP to, they always get published over there. Okay, so I am going to hang out for about 5 more minutes. So if you guys have other questions or like need actual help in your account, feel free to unmute, and then we can riff and I can actually log into your account and help you. Jess said, will this deck be shared? So I can definitely share it. I can download it as a PDF and share it with you. But this is kind of like a living thing in Canva. So I don't want to share that link with you because it'll change, but definitely I can share some stuff with you for sure. Okay, amazing. Awesome. So like I said, I'm just going to hang out, and if you guys need anything, or also if you don't, feel free to pop, guys, and go on with your day. But definitely challenge you, if you have not already imported testimonials into Senja, I definitely recommend that you do so, because it's so easy, guys. All you have to do is upload the CSV or connect your account and import them. And literally, I was on a call with Ecamm last week, and 5 people had all of their testimonials imported by the end of the call. Like, it's lit. And people were like, this is so stupid. It's so easy. So that is your first challenge today, and then build your widgets. Absolutely, Dan. Let me stop sharing so you can share, and I'm happy to help.
Cool. So we're in a really unique position because we help people like build their studios and they look and sound good, and then it's not as hard to get them to show up and do a video testimonial.
Crazy.
So we take advantage of that fact, right? But then we have our clients who use Senja sometimes to try and get testimonials, and they're in all different industries. So a lot of times what we do is help them focus on it being a highlight of their client, as opposed to give us this thing we need to make us look better. And a lot of times, even if the video quality is not that great on their client's behalf, they're still knowing that they're going to be highlighted on that website that gets traffic, or they're going to be spotlighted somewhere in a newsletter or on a website. And just that psychological shift sometimes will get people onto video as opposed to just text, because they know they're going to be highlighted somewhere. So I just wanted to share that, because that's how we help our people.
No, I think that's great. I actually really like that concept, especially for service providers, right? It's like, so when you're help them, I think I've always preached, and it's interesting because I've always preached that, like, for service-based businesses, you're not going to see the turnaround immediately, right? And so I did a webinar maybe a couple weeks ago, and we talked about this, where it was like, well, what's my strategy? And my strategy's always been, I ask for the testimonial immediately, but then I do a 90-day follow-up call with my client to see, like, okay, what actually happened since we worked? And same thing with you, Dan. It's like, okay, once they actually can then step in and their clients reap the reward of the work we did together, it's way easier to get a testimonial. So that's, I think, for everybody in this call, is there's no one way to capture feedback, right? You know your business and your products and your offers and your audience more than I will ever know about them. And so it's okay to, like, not follow our exact playbook, but do what works for you guys, and tweak it, right? Like, I think that's another interesting thing, Dan, too. Like, when you have really high periods in business, and everyone fluctuates, right? Like Q4 is dead zone, right? August, dead zone, because everyone's on vacation. And so if you have time where it's easier to follow up with people and get more testimonials, circle back to them. You don't have to be done and done as soon as the project's over and the invoice is paid and like call it a day, right? The whole point is that you guys are continually to build relationships. So I absolutely love that. Jess asked earlier, you mentioned clipping videos. What is the max video size that can be uploaded? So right now it's 1,000 megabytes. So Dan's a video guy, so correct me if I'm wrong, but it's usually like a 5 to 6 minute video is kind of the max that I've seen, but it also depends on the quality, right? If you're exporting an 8K video with all of this like extra stuff, it might be a little harder to upload. And so, just take it with a grain of salt. That's why I said, like, when I get really, really long video testimonials, I also, those 90-day follow-up calls I just mentioned, I record them because I know I get testimonials just by riffing with a client. I will then clip those and then upload it into Senja as well. So that's also another opportunity to get video feedback, but just play with it. If you are hitting that max video size, clip it, upload both, and then use the sizzle reel, the magic video, to then splice it back together and get a shorter video. Cool. Okay. Marissa, you're so welcome. I'm glad this was helpful today. Okay. Did I convince everyone to come over to Senja if you haven't yet? I hope so. My job depends on it. No, I'm kidding. Not really. I am. Awesome. Well, cool. Well, if you guys, like I said, if you have any other questions, I'm going to put our email once again in the chat. I'm going to put our support, and then I'm also going to put our partners. So if you're considering being an affiliate and have, questions about that or anything, you can email partners at, that's my inbox. And then support's going to be, tickets and things like that. Amazing. Jess, you are so welcome. Okay, guys. Well, if there's no other questions, obviously feel free to unmute, but if there's no other questions, then we will call it today. And the last thing I'm going to mention, guys, is I know that office hours, we really pushed it this week, and a lot of you are newer. You don't have to be new to come to office hours. I run these every single week. I'm going to move them to Tuesdays just because Mondays are a little stressful. But you can come to office hours any week, anytime. You don't have to be like brand new to the platform. So if it's easier for you to come and ask a question than like submit a support ticket, absolutely, please do so. And happy to help with anything that I can. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I will see you guys on the internet. Hopefully you have a wonderful Monday. Also, like, it's the end of September. Can we believe it already? I can't. I'm like, where did the year go? So have a wonderful, drop my mic. Dan, I need to pick your brain about how to fix my mic. I've been holding it this whole time. But I will see y'all later. And the recording of today's call will be on YouTube. I'll push it out probably the end of the day because Google Meet takes a little bit to render. But I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye, guys.
Hello. Yeah? Hello. Oh. Din. Eh? Koi đâu à? Eh? O kaya ko na sinto na wala na pa yung same na yung bali. Oh. Salto na ni. Tujuh mo. আচ্ছা ও আচ্ছা 11টা গাড়ি না 11টা হইল আচ্ছা আচ্ছা ওকে হ্যাঁ আমি তো রাস্তা আগে গেছিলাম মানে কত সাইড শুরু করায় হ্যাঁ ওই পয়েন্টের সাইডে নেই সিটে নেচে কালকে আইব দেখ এখনো শেষ নেই আর যাইতা না নি হ্যালো হ্যালো রাইট অফিস ওই কুটুম বাড়িও মাত্র এক মানুষ নাম কি বলবো তারা হাই হ্যালো হ্যালো I am outside. Hello. I am outside. Time is very busy. Tell me. গাড়িটা নিয়ে হাজারাই পাল্টা গেল চিন্তা কত চিন্তা করো Hi.